Good Monday morning, everybody. I hope you are doing well today. My husband is mocking me behind the scenes, everybody. Listen, it's not right. It's not right because, listen, you either want me in a good mood or you don't. Which one do you want? It is Monday, April 10th, 2023. It is also known as Easter Monday because it's the Monday after Easter Sunday. I hope you guys are doing well today and that you had a great Easter weekend. I'm your host, Jessica Dugas, and you're watching Project Joy Live. It's your weekday morning talk show giving you a triple shot of good vibes and a whole bucket load of imperfection because imperfection is perfect and it's joyful, and that's why we're here today. I hope you had a great weekend, like I said, and we've got a few things coming up this morning. We've got birthdays to do at the end of the show. We've got some stuff down. We've got a cute little squishmallow cow here this morning. We've also it's purple. Is it a cow? No, it's a pig. That's a pig, and it's purple. You guys see that? He's so cute. Anyway, we've got some national days to talk about today, and we're starting a new series this week. This week, we're going to be talking about joy in quotes. Joy in quotes. I found 5 inspirational quotes about joy from 5 different people. And I thought we'd dissect them a little bit and talk about the joy in them. Do we think they're true? Where does it come from? Today we have a quote from C.S. Lewis that we're going to be talking about. I sometimes wonder whether all pleasures are not substitutes for joy. That's the quote we're going to be talking about coming up later on. If you're joining us live, I would love for you to share where you're joining from. And of course, what is bringing you joy today? Let me know if you did anything special on the Easter weekend, if you celebrated Passover or Ramadan, which also happening at the same time. I would love to hear about how you celebrated those things as well. So let me know coming up. But I suppose first we can talk about let's check in. Let's check in with our audience first, because that is my favorite thing about Project Joy. So in the comments this morning, we have Divine DNA. Usually that's Angelique. Usually Donnell is on the Donnell account, but let me know for sure if that's Angelique. I hope you guys had a good Easter down there in Jacksonville, Florida. Juju's here this morning. Grand Rising, my friend, and it's good to see you. Let me know how your weekend was as well, and let me know what's bringing you guys joy. Easter was fun for us yesterday. It was quiet. I always invite people over on holidays. I always say, look, if you don't have anywhere else to go, my door is always open. Whether people are not take me up on that. You guys, I can't English today. Whether or not people take me up on that is another story. And so we didn't have any visitors yesterday, but it's sometimes that's kind of nice because we're loud enough as it is with 7 of us. And so we had a nice little kids did their Easter basket thing. They did an egg hunt around the yards with some candy eggs, things like that. And then later on, we ate dinner, which was delicious as usual. You guys know I put out a whole vegan feast. And so that was a lot of fun. And then we went to the beach, which I live 1.5 miles from the water here on the coast. And so I always enjoy going down to the water, especially during hectic times. Holidays can be a little bit hectic. It can be a little bit challenging from time to time. So I really enjoy going and sitting by the water for a while. Got some nice pictures. If you guys are on my personal Facebook page, you probably saw I changed my profile photo. Thank you for the love on that. And we just sat by the beach for a little while. I mentioned the end of last week as well about my Instagram that I have for local scenery and things like that. I often post reels on there of the water because it brings me so much joy. So I know it has to bring somebody else joy, but that's Groton CT Life on Instagram, GROTONCTLIFE on Instagram. And you can check out the reel there that I took yesterday of the amazing shoreline and the waves. And sometimes we just need that little breath in and out, right? Because that's what my friend Jamad reminded me of yesterday, that the ocean mimics the breath in and out, in and out. And it's a cool thing. So hope you get to enjoy that. Let's see here. Juju said the secret of joy in work is contained in one word: excellence. To know how to do something well is to enjoy it. That's a really interesting quote. I will, if we ever do another joy in quote series, I might have to dissect that one as well, because I agree, but I also am like, depends. It depends, because it's interesting. We've had a whole bunch of people on the Breakthrough Show Network, guests on different shows who have excellence in one area of work, right? Prime example is several of the attorneys that we've had on our shows, and they're amazing attorneys. They have excellence. They've received awards, blah, blah, blah. And then it just doesn't bring them joy. It just doesn't bring them joy. And so they make a switch. And while they may make less money, they may not be seen as, as good at that thing as others. Like, they had to do what brings them joy. And so I think sometimes there's a little bit of a disconnect between joy and excellence. So I may dissect that one later, maybe a bonus next week. We'll find out. Donnell is here this morning. Good to see you. Carla's here this morning. Good morning. Good morning. Always good to have you here. Angelique is here. She said, we celebrate Easter the way we usually do, our immediate family eating a wonderful meal and enjoying one another. We wanted to go to the movies, but it was cold and rainy all day. I hate that it was cold and rainy. Easter's one of those holidays for me where I expect it to be like spring. Okay. I expect it to show out. I want to see all the daisies and the tulips and everything coming up everywhere. I want to see spring show out. I remember one time when I was little, it snowed on Easter, and that was very strange. And so it's one of those things that I expect it to show. So if it was, I hate that it was rainy for you, but I'm sure you guys had a great holiday. I need to know if Donnell made his mac and cheese, that famous mac and cheese that I always hear about. We also made mac and cheese. Actually, my daughter Merjean made the mac and cheese, came out really well. And so, we usually don't do mac and cheese, but she was like, I want mac and cheese. So I'm like, well, you want it, you make it. Not, what's that? Oh, they're shaking their heads at me now over here, because they know where I'm going with this, with the random songs that pop into my head. That Ariana Grande song, where she's like, you want it? I got it. I want it. I got it. Whatever it is. Okay. Well, you want it, you make it. That's that's the way it is around here. Okay. I want to get into, you guys, our quote and dissecting that for the day. Rewind. I want to talk about National Day today, and then we're going to take a break and talk about our quote. Couple things. I hope you ate before you came to the show this morning, because it is Cinnamon Crescent Day. Cinnamon Crescent Day. Now, I enjoy crescent rolls, but I'm not sure I've ever had a cinnamon crescent roll. I've had like cinnamon rolls and crescent rolls, but I'm not sure I've ever had a cinnamon crescent roll. Have you guys ever had that? Let me know. Because I'm not sure I have. It is also National Sibling Day. It's National Sibling Day. Do you have siblings? If you do, shout them out down there in the comments and tell them happy National Sibling Day. I have 3 brothers. So I have my brother Adam, that I talk about often on the shows, that passed away 13 years ago. Actually, we're coming up on what would have been his birthday on May 6th. And then I have 2 other brothers. I have Gregory and Sean. So I will wish them a happy National Sibling Day as well. Donnell, are you surprised? Because do you need the cinnamon crescent rolls? Have you had them before? What you have to explain the faces. I don't get to see my brothers, Greg and Sean, a whole lot. They live in South Carolina. In fact, we didn't grow up together really, so I don't see them often, but I do pay attention to what they're doing on the Book of the Face on Facebook, and Gregory in particular is always doing a ton of things, raising money for different organizations and stuff. So super proud of them and the things that they're doing in their lives. So those are the two national days that I wanted to talk about today, but Cinnamon Crescent Day, I need to know about these things. Let me know if you have any thoughts about those. We're going to take a quick break and be right back to talk about our quote today. And also we have birthdays at the end of the show. So if you're celebrating a birthday today or did over the weekend, let me know in the comments and we can celebrate you at the end of the show. We'll be right back after this. Breakthroughs are about more than you might think. They're about discovering who you are, digging deep, reaching to the core of your soul. They're about healing yourself, understanding your beliefs, creating a ripple effect. And it's not just those initial moments that matter. It's about using them to bring more joy into our own lives and the lives of others. It's about having fun, letting loose, enjoying every moment life has to offer. It's about finding a safe space. It's about creating connection. Join us each and every day for exclusive programming, special events, and a community to call home, where we invite you to explore, change the way you look at and live your life, and go beyond the breakthrough. So we ask you, are you ready? We'll see you online at thebreakthroughshow.com. Good morning, good morning. We've talked the whole night through. Good morning to you. I hope you guys had an awesome Easter weekend. You're watching Project Joy Live with your host, Jessica Dugas, for your triple shot of good vibes each weekday morning. I'm in a singing, dancing kind of mood today. My kids were making fun of me as I was coming live on the show because I told you, if you're never here for the intro of the song or the intro of the show with the dance song, I have a whole dance party back here. I should put the little disco light. This lamp changes colors and does a blinky thing. I should do the blinky thing before the show so that I can have some fun with that before. But I have a whole dance party and they make fun of me. But I'm like, listen, I bring the good vibes wherever I go here this morning. Okay, so I want to talk about our quote today. This week we're going to be talking about joy quotes. Speaking of my lamp, I'm fixing to knock it over. Let's see here. I sometimes wonder whether all the pleasures are not substitutes for joy. I sometimes wonder whether all pleasures are not substitutes for joy. C.S. Lewis said that quote. If you guys don't know who C.S. Lewis is, C.S. Lewis, the author of I would say, of the more famous things, Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, that series of books, the Narnia books. Okay, so I sometimes wonder whether all pleasures are not substitutes for joy. So I'll start with the things that make you go, I need a little intro there with that part of the song. Things that make you go, right? So we've talked often about this show about how to get rid of the notion that joy can only be things that are known or immediately thought of as pleasurable, right? So and the reason why is because I teach, I share, I attest that joy can be found in literally every situation. It doesn't necessarily mean like loss, abuse, things like that are joy, but joy can be found in the situation. Joy can be found on reflection of, joy can be found in the vicinity of every situation. And so when we say, wonder whether all pleasures are not substitute for joy, I hesitate to say that, just because it makes us think of just the pleasurable things. Like I can't find joy in situations or things or people or circumstances that we might not feel as pleasurable right away. And it's discouraging for us to look back on those things in reflection and go, oh, there could be joy there. Like, we might not go back and look if we say, okay, joy is only found in the pleasurable things. That's my only like flip side of the coin qualm with this quote, if you will. However, I love this quote for several reasons, because it makes us think about all of the things that we find pleasurable and if we find joy in them, right? So, what brings me joy might be very different than what brings Angelique joy, or Donnell, or Carla, or Juju. It might be very different from how we each see joy very differently. Okay. So that's my first thought with this. And so, um, and we also all take pleasure in very different things. And so, as we think about the pleasures, the things that we take pleasure with in life, I would love to know from all of you guys, do you automatically equate those to joy? So, I'm trying to think. I was trying to come up with an example before the show, and I couldn't really think of anything that is pleasurable to me, but that I don't really consider joy. Because again, we talk about on this show finding joy in everything. So if it's pleasurable, it's going to bring me joy. If it's not pleasurable, on reflection, it might bring me joy, or digging a little deeper, it might bring me joy. So I was trying to think, does pleasure automatically equal joy? And I think for me, it does. I think as I think about those different things, like if I eat a food that tastes good, that's pleasurable to me, and it's also joyful. And so I couldn't think of anything. Let me know if you guys, do you agree that pleasure automatically equals joy? And I think the only thing that maybe we could argue about, if we wanted to find something to argue about, is that there are different levels of joy. There are different levels of pleasure. So I think sometimes by saying, okay, that that food brought me joy, but or brought me pleasure to my life, and it also brought me pleasure to graduate from college. Okay. So you could say, well, the graduating from college might be a little more like higher up on the scale than, say, eating a marshmallow. I don't know. First thing that came to my mind, and I don't know why marshmallow was it, but it's the point of, like, there might be different levels of things, but ultimately, I think pleasure does equal joy, and things that we find pleasurable in our lives. And so let me see. Susan said, nor quite always. Most of the time it does. Right, just different levels. I think that's what it is, because when I first read the quote, I was thinking to myself, because I think of joy, and no shocker, having a show called Project Joy, I think of joy as like a big deal, right? Like joy, like I don't know, I just think of the word joy. When I close my eyes and I think of the word joy, it feels like a big, warm, yummy energy. Okay. So there are certain pleasures where, like, Susan's like, Peeps, marshmallow. I don't even eat Peeps anymore, and I've got marshmallows on the brain. I don't know what's happening today, you guys. But like, as I think of something like Peeps, I think like of like, it doesn't, like, Peeps doesn't feel to me like that same big, yummy, warm, joyful feeling. Okay. So I absolutely agree, Susan. I feel like my initial reaction to that quote was like, okay, there's just different levels. And that's how I'm feeling about that. Angelique agrees that pleasure equals joy. And I think I thank you for that perspective, Angelique. And I think I agree. I think I agree. I think, like I said, I'm with Susan as well, as far as like there being different levels. So my initial reaction to that was a little like, I don't know. But then I'm like, no, there's just different levels. And it goes to speak, I think, for anything positive or negative that we experience. And a great example of this. So there's a social skills class that I'm doing with my kids right now for homeschool, and the first activity that we did the other day was actually pretty cool. And there was worksheets, and on the worksheet there was 4 different levels of a specific feeling. So the first sheet might deal with anger, okay? And it will say like frustration, or annoyed, frustrated, angry, um enraged. Yeah, that's the word I was thinking of. Annoyed, frustrated, angry, enraged. So there's like different levels, right? And this was a really cool activity. So you'd go through for each page and you would share about a time when you felt that way, as a way to sort of learn to compartmentalize our different feelings a little bit. How often does something happen in our lives and we say, oh, that brought me so much joy. And then something else happens and we go, oh, that brought me so much joy. But what if we could choose those different pleasure words to describe, what it brings us? This made me completely elated, as opposed to this made me feel really calm and at peace, or this brought me pleasure, or this brought me, using different words like that to describe. So I think that when we talk about there being different levels, it brought me back to that activity that I did with the kids, because there are different levels of these different emotions. We're all going to process those words and those feelings and those emotions different ways. But I think ultimately, if we're able to, the benefit that kind of activity brings to our lives is, if we're able to see the different levels, we can actually say, oh, there is joy everywhere. It's just at a different level. It's just at a different place, right? So it's a really cool thing to do. If you ever get a chance, and if any of you want to see that worksheet, let me know, and I can send it over to you. But it was a really cool activity, because it helps you to look at things and go, oh, this was all joy. It's just at a different level. It's just a different thing. So our quote: I sometimes wonder whether all pleasures are not substitutes for joy. My final thought about this is that things can be this and not substitute for. Okay. This and not substitutes for. So feeling pleasure is joy. Feeling elated is joy. Feeling happy is joy, because we've talked about that before, that all things can be joy. Just those different levels, right? So that's my final thought about that quote. I hope you guys enjoy that. If you find any quotes that you want me to talk about on the show, like Juju did earlier, thank you for that, Juju. Let me know, and we'll definitely do some more quote series, because I think sometimes even in things that other people say, it can be like, oh, like let's explore that a little bit and let's see where the joy comes through in that moment. Robinson Prince is here this morning. One of my buddies from across the pond. I hope you are doing well. I hope you're doing well. It's been a long time since I've seen you, and I hope you're enjoying life and that 2023 is treating you well. Susan says, I think too, please. I think, I don't know if you're asking for the sheet or not, but I missed the comment when it came in before. Pleasure, you don't think joy is thought about. Oh, that's interesting. That's an interesting thought as well. That's a whole other rabbit hole there. Pleasure you don't think about, joy is thought about. Yeah. I think sometimes we think, oh, I mean, I know for me, one of the joys for me in doing this show is that we can kind of intentionally overthink a little bit here, which is a lot of fun. To kind of go down the rabbit hole of what does this mean? What does joy actually look like? And the reason why I like to do this is because for me, it makes it easier to experience joy that's not intentional, like to just experience it. Like you said, pleasure you don't think about, joy is thought about. So I want to make joy a second nature for us, not something that we have to experience something and look back and go, oh, there's the joy, but that in the moment we take a breath and go, here's the joy. Here's the joy. That's why I love to intentionally, go down the rabbit hole with you guys sometimes in the morning. So I am going to enjoy this series quite a bit this week. I've got 4 more quotes coming to you later in this week as well. So I'm excited to dig into that. And with that said, we need to get to birthdays. So we've got a couple birthdays going on this morning. I'm going to fall over here with the one, but we'll get to that in a moment. Today in the celebrity world, John Madden, who passed away in 2021, had a birthday today. Happy birthday, John Madden. Actor Steven Seagal, you might recognize him in being different movies for his martial arts skills. Haley Joel Osment, you remember him? Little Haley Joel from The Sixth Sense. He has a birthday today, but he's not so little anymore. He's been in a ton of other things. I just associate him with that. Also, here's my what the hell moment. Babyface, singer Babyface is 63 years old. Happy birthday, Babyface, first of all. Second of all, I'm having a moment here. Okay. I need something. I need a warm and fuzzy place. I need a purple squishmallow cow to make me feel 63 years old. What? I know, Angelique. I'm having a whole moment over here. Okay. I don't know. Where does the time go? No one knows. Oh, Susan's horse, Vinny's birthday today. Okay. I'm going to write this down. Vinny the horse. He's going to be the star. Vinny's going to be the star of this birthday song this morning. Okay. I'm still over here like 63. Not Babyface. He's still got a baby face too. Okay. All right. Let's get our birthdays. Oh, wait, no. Celebrities in my life. Okay. Jamie Morocco. By the way, Jamie, I don't think I've ever talked to her. And this is my cue to send Jamie a message. So Jamie, sometimes as entrepreneurs, we friend people and then I'm like, who is this? We've never talked. And that's a sad thing. So I'm going to send Jamie a message because I really enjoy her posts on social media. Jamie helps people with weight loss and she really does a lot, around, like she posts a lot of things about weight loss that I love and that I really agree with. That's very much a personal thing. She debunks and demystifies a lot of things. So I'm going to send you a message, Jamie, but it's also her birthday. So happy birthday to Jamie. In addition, a celebrity here on the Breakthrough Show Network, you might have seen her on shows that I've done. Suzanne Doolin, she's been a yogi for many, 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 many years. And I had the privilege, the honor of getting to give her a hug last year when I drove up from on our move. And so Suzanne Doolin, happy birthday to you. And I hope you have an amazing day. So those are our birthdays and Vinny the horse. I'm not going to forget Vinny the horse. Here we go, you guys. You ready? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear John Madden, Steven Seagal, Haley Joel Osment, Babyface. I can't believe he's 63. Suzanne Doolin, Jamie Morocco, and Vinny the horse. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to all those who are celebrating and who celebrated in this past weekend as well. We did those on Friday, but I'm just saying it again. Hope you guys are set up to have an amazing day. I'm still in shock over here about baby face. I don't know how I'm going to get through the day. At any rate, I want to share with you about the amazingness coming on the Breakthrough Show Network this week. So we have lots of replays happening off and on. Definitely keep an eye out for those if you missed them the first time. We had some amazing premieres last week. We had My Way, we had Declutter for Change, and we had One. So be looking for those replays and stuff throughout the week. Also, on Tuesday, we have a brand new episode of Beyond 2D. You guys know that Farhan and I have been digging deep on the topic of communication. This episode is going to be powerful and probably one of our best yet. I will bet at the end of the year, we're going to look back on this episode and be like, what happened there? Because I'm so excited. So Tuesday night, 6 p.m. Eastern, Farhan and I are going to be talking to two people in the world of communication who have so much expertise and so much experience. I don't even know. I'm like trying not to hype it up too much because I'm so excited. Caldwell Williams is incredible, and Michelle Risa. You guys have seen Michelle with me before on My Way. She was my very first guest of My Way last year. Caldwell Williams, if you're a fan of Farhan, has been on some of Farhan's shows several times, and he's a mentor to Farhan. So I'm excited that we get these two very different perspectives. I'm excited that we get people from very different walks of life, and that there's going to be four of us sharing the screen. Michelle's going to be the very first part of the episode for the first half an hour. Caldwell's going to take the second half, and we're going to have an amazing time with both of them. So make sure you tune into that Tuesday, 6 p.m. Eastern time. On Wednesday night, we have an all new episode of Divine DNA with the Jacksons. That's at 7 p.m. Eastern time on the Breakthrough Show Network. I know Miss Jackson had a birthday that she talked about. It's also, I think, Stress Awareness Month. I think that's what it was. Definitely check that out. 7 p.m. Eastern time on Tuesday night. Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern, we have the second episode of our One series telling the story of Brunella Costellola. And she's going to be, guys, her story is so good. And I shared this before. Brunella, now I've had the opportunity to record this one episode with, and also to premiere My Way with her season 2. She is such a quality human being, you guys. She's doing amazing things in the world, and you can just tell that she takes pride in being an Italian American, and being in her being a mother, and being an author, and being an editor, and being a military wife. You guys, you're going to love her, and you're going to love her story. And make sure you go check out her episode of My Way that she was on as well. So incredible week coming up on the Breakthrough Show Network. Super excited about all of that. It's going to be really, really good. And it's Aries season. Yes, it is. Some of us have been a little winded from Aries season, if I'm being honest. But this too shall pass. Every month we have a new season to go to, and it's going to be amazing. Thank you guys for being here with us this morning. Guys, it went so fast this morning. I'm your host, Jessica Dugas, and I want to remind you to make joy a priority in your life today and every day. And I'll see you tomorrow morning, and hopefully we'll be Englishing better then. Have a good day, you guys.